let me come to that. Let me come to that conference, because the Prime Minister is going to fly out to Rwanda, I think, tomorrow, to this Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Yeah. So he'll be out of the country when there are two by-elections on Thursday in Wakefield and Tiverton and Honiton. Now, how are backbenchers responding to the Prime Minister flying off with Tory MPs unhappy? And as you said, the Prime Minister has snubbed a Northern Research Group conference in Doncaster. Now, these are Northern MPs in the so-called red wall seats, which gave him a slashing majority at the last election. And they're saying it's reminiscent of Margaret Thatcher travelling to Paris to celebrate the end of the Cold War in 1990 in the middle of a leadership challenge. When she got home, she was out of the Prime Ministership. Is that comparison with Boris Johnson valid?
Well, they're certainly making that comparison, and it was infamous in 1990. Margaret Thatcher flew out to this big kind of shindig in Paris, expecting to win and remain Prime Minister, and Michael Heseltine, if you remember him at the time, was challenging her, and she came back, and it was all over. Her cabinet told her, "You haven't got enough votes, you're out." And Heseltine didn't win in the end. We ended up with John Major, who's one of the worst prime ministers in our history. But anyway, let's move on from that.
But are these Northern MPs dirty that the Prime Minister now has missed the chance of going to that conference in Doncaster, talking to 35 of his MPs, raise morale, discuss ideas? Yeah. Now, I read a report that, I mean, apart from being stupid and strategically dumb, I mean, why wouldn't he have gone? But then you were reporting that MPs were getting texts in the morning to say that the Prime Minister was on a train heading to Doncaster, which was obviously a lie.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly was. And their excuse was he flew out to Kiev, I should say, to see President Zelensky. And of course, you know, there are lots of pictures of him there, and you say it's very important. Actually, politically, it was more important for him to be in Doncaster with these MPs. These are important MPs in seats he needs to hold on to. These were people who were, a lot of them were loyalists, a lot of them no longer loyalists. They saw it as a direct snub, actually. They thought that there was no need to do the second Ukraine trip. No. And, you know, and it was all because he didn't want to talk about the difficult things about, you know, with this concept of levelling up, which is kind of improving the poorer parts, the less invested parts of the country, and essentially avoid some difficult conversations. And you know, going to Kyiv is a long way to avoid a conversation.